saying that you didn't hear, commentary and explanation. Okay, so as I've probably said many times before and in some of my other videos, the most important thing to do if you didn't hear what somebody said is to ask them to say it again. So we have some basic responses here, things like sorry, I'm sorry. If you use the correct body language, a tilt of the head shows a bit of confusion. Moving your ear towards the listener to show that you didn't quite hear them last time. The hand gesture also helps between the ear and the hand. These things show that you didn't hear. Pardon me? I beg your pardon? A little bit of a, like, well, I couldn't hear your face, a little bit squinty helps here. Okay. Okay, so that's all very straightforward for the first section. The second section, also quite straightforward. Asking the other person to repeat what they said. Could you repeat that, please? Could you say that again, please? Could I ask you to say that again? Could I ask you to say that again, please? Okay. Now, as you see on your sheet, I've put a box around that in some of these example sentences. Now, of course, if somebody speaks, you can ask them to say the whole thing again. And that's okay. But if you know that this was the trouble part, I didn't hear this word, or I understood until here, but not the end, or there was something at the beginning I didn't catch, then it's good to let the other person know what is actually causing you difficulty. So you might say, sorry, could you repeat your question, please? Or could you repeat your first part? Or could you repeat that last part? Or could you repeat the bit about cost cutting? Okay, so this is if you actually didn't hear something. They were talking about cost cutting and maybe you just missed something. Somebody was coughing in the hall or something like that. Okay, so if you can be more specific than just please say that again, it does help. Okay, even better than just saying please repeat that is checking what you heard is the same as what they said. So for example, did you say ROI? And things like that, so that you know they know that the thing you were not sure about is, for example, in this case, ROI. Okay, asking the other person to slow down. As I've noted here, the most natural way to say this in English would be, could you slow down a bit? Okay, the problem is that that's very natural. So the other person will think, oh, he's very good, or she's very good at English. So maybe I need to slow down a little, but not much. Okay? If you want them to slow down a lot, then maybe you would say, could you speak more slowly, please? Okay? And if you speak slowly and clearly and have a very confused face, they will slow down a lot. Okay? But they will think your English is very bad. Okay? Could you speak more slowly, please? Like that, okay. They will speak slowly, but they won't think your English is very good. It's better for us if we can say, could you slow down a bit? Or even just, could you say that again more slowly, but said at a kind of natural pace would be good for this. Okay. Now sometimes you're in a very noisy room, or maybe the person has a very quiet voice. But instead of saying, you have a very quiet voice, please speak more loudly, we would usually say, it's a bit loud in here, could you speak up please? You can say, could you speak more loudly please, but we generally say speak up in this case. Could you speak up please? It's a bit loud in here. Could you speak up, please? I'm sorry, it's very noisy in here. Could you speak up, please? This phrase is very useful, of course, if you are presenting to an audience and some people are talking while somebody's trying to ask you a question, then maybe you need to get them to speak more loudly. But even if you're just talking to your boss, for example, in the cafeteria, lots of talking, lots of plates, sometimes it's actually very hard to hear, and so you may need to say this. It's a bit loud in here. Could you speak up, please? Okay.